Hi, this is Tapcat and welcome back to Factorio. We have some work to do today. I want to start working towards building more labs, but also the materials, what do you call it? The research items that we need to power them. The science pack. And I believe the green one is called the logistics pack. It's something like that. So to make this, we have to set it up so that we can put a copper plate and an iron gear wheel into an assembler. One of these, an assembling machine. So the trick is we have copper and we have iron, and thankfully they're not too far apart from each other. I think what I want to do is just build 2 new mining drills. For the purpose, we might as well start one. And let's have them reasonably close to each other. That makes some sense to me. Oops. That's fine. Oh, I gotta get closer. I see. There we go. All right, and we have to obviously extend the power network out so that they are included. All right, and then over this way. And by the way, you don't have to be so angular when you place these. It just appeals to my particular sense of aesthetic. So we have the drill powered up. We need to make the iron wheel. So the first step to that, we need another assembler, or excuse me, an inserter. So let me get one of the electric variety. And there. And I think we don't really even need to screw around with a middleman here, like, you know, some sort of intermediary machine. I feel like just putting the assembler itself right there, it should work. I'm not 100% on this, but I think it'll work. All right. And it's even powered up because I put it next to that. Now what we have to do is tell it that we want it to make... Oh, I screwed up. So I skipped a step. What we need first is a furnace. And we're going to make the steel plate. And since we have 2 over here, that's pretty easy to manage. All right, so this needs to feed into that. Actually, let me place it down 1 notch. I think that will still work. Let's put a bunch of coal in it. And it is not doing anything. So maybe I did not, in fact, put it in the right place. And that is easy to... That's actually... Okay, get some coal in again. It's still not working. What is up with that? Oh. I do this a lot. I realize I'm not leaving room for the machine to do what it needs to do. You can't put the inserter right on top of the miner. It has to have room to pick the thing up from here. Basically, I set it down right on top of where the ore lands. And that kind of keeps the whole thing from working. So now we need another arm. And let me just go ahead and make another one while I'm at it. And we'll put that here. And now we'll take our assembling machine and put it... Really? Oh, I see. The pole was in the way. And I'm going to need a pole... Eesh. Let me see if that would work. It's supposed to. I don't think I have this stuff lined up right, though. Although, it's interesting. It seems like it is. Oh, I know. I haven't told it what I want. I know I did that before, but it doesn't remember after you pick it up. So now it's working. Cool. In fact, do I even need this? Oh, I did. See, I saw a cable running from this pole, and I thought, oh, okay, it doesn't even need that. But whatever, that's fine. So now we've gone as far as automating this. We are going, well, I'm going to need a lot more than one track. Oh, what am I doing? Idiot. So I'm going to need another one of these beauties here. And then we'll lay a bunch of track. And I might as well go ahead and make some. And while I'm doing that, let me grab some of this, because I could use it. Okay. Okay, so we need track, like I said. And what we're going to want to do is start bringing it over this way. Now, I'm not going to try and finish it just yet, I don't think. In fact, I've probably already built it too far, to be honest. But let's leave it for the moment. I don't want to do it and undo it and then redo it and then undo it. Okay, so now we need to do a similar thing with this, except we're going to turn, we just need a simple copper plate. I have a bunch of them, but that's not the point. We want to automate that process. So, let me think for a second. We need an inserter arm. In fact, let me just make a couple. And for once, I will leave the space for the copper. We need a furnace. And at the moment, the only kind I have is the stone. So we'll put that here. And then, of course, we need to put some coal in here. So we're making copper plates, which is great. Now what we need to do is grab the copper plates, grab these, and move them to another assembly machine where they will be combined into the automation science pack. And we would like to do it, you know, in a reasonably elegant fashion to the extent I am capable of such a thing. So let's do this. I'm not positive this will work. The pole might get in the way, but let's try it. Is that? No, that's not going to work, is it? Okay. You know what? It's fine, I think. So here's what we're going to do. Let's lift. It's not even going to let me. There it goes. Okay, I got it. So now let me lay the track. I need to see if this works. Okay, good. Now what we'll do is we'll just lay the pole in a slightly different position. That's all. There. Okay. It is not as pretty, but it's going to work. So we will lay track. And this is where my well, actually, I need to do that. Okay. Now, I'm going to try something I don't normally do, or I haven't done much of. I believe I can use... Actually, I don't even need to get that fancy. I was going to use a long-handed inserter. Actually, I will. So let me build one of those and one of these. And then we need another assembling machine. Yeah, this is funny because in the first couple of episodes of this, you know, like I was kind of treating it like a tutorial for people. And that was a part of this game that I felt, you know, pretty comfortable that I knew what I was doing more or less. I'm at the point now where I'm definitely a little bit more like trying to make sure that I don't screw it up. Okay, this should be good. I'm in the way. And I'm going to just do this right now. So you see it's looking for copper plates and the iron gear wheel. Obviously we need power and we need to extend the track. This is known. All right. So now we'll go ahead. Whoops, hold on. I screwed that up. I don't need it rotated anymore. Thanks, guys. And actually, another thing I don't need is for this one to extend as far as it did. So, I think it's working. It is supplying it. Again, it pulls it out very slowly. Now, one thing we can do, if we extend this, and I'm going to make another assembling machine. I'm sorry, I always click on the wrong tab here. So this, I believe, will work. And then let's make another pair of inserters. So, because right now, obviously I'm wasting just a ton of like possible production because it takes way longer to make one of these than it does to make the steel plate, the copper plates or the iron wheels. So one way around that, I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong one. One way around that is to set up multiple assemblers that pull from the same thing. And as long as, you know, you don't overdo that, it should work pretty well. All right, let me try that. Perfect. Okay, so now all I should need to do is extend this. We do need to tell the assembler, you know, what it needs to work on. And we're going to do that right now. And there you go. It is doing it. Oh, no, it's not, because I didn't put the right inserter down. Silly goose that I was. All right. So there you go. We'll probably want to build more later, to be honest with you, but at least for the moment, we're okay. Now, what we probably should do, we have a laboratory, a couple of laboratories way over here. I think what we want to do is let's pick these up. Now, I have seen people who did amazing setups with their laboratories so that it could feed in the, I don't even know, like 8 or 10 different colors of these automated packs, you know. I'm not quite that advanced, but what we are going to do is set up an area like maybe over here. And I'm going to go ahead and put these close to each other. I hope that's the right thing to do. Honestly, I'm not sure. And we'll do something like this. All right. And is this actual stone, by the way? Nope, it's just cosmetic. Okay. So now what we want is, again, just a simple conveyor belt or transport belt. And let me go ahead and grab some more steel here, steel plates. Whoops, I didn't mean to only grab half of them. We need to automate this better too. I totally understand that, and probably just ramp up my production. I cut it in half when I moved this thing over. I need to probably build more mining machines. I need to do all sorts of stuff over here. And we'll do that. I just am trying to focus on getting the science going first, the research. Okay. So we are building, which we are constructing these, which is great. I keep right clicking where you only take half. I can't remember. It does stack quite a few in there, so I don't really need to empty it out quite this soon. But at any rate, they are producing. And honestly, what I'll probably want to do is make several more of these, because this is glacially slow. Let's go ahead and do that before I bother doing that, because the science burns through them at a pretty good clip. Now, honestly, what I'm already realizing is I needed more room. But listen, I'm not building this for the long haul. I'm really just trying to demonstrate how this stuff works and get this process to a certain point for this series. I guess if people actually wanted to see more, I would consider doing that. But understand, I definitely don't have that level of expertise at this point in time where, you know, I have any real confidence that I can do it in any kind of reasonable time. I think that's what concerns me, is I don't want an episode of me walking back and forth and going, no, wait, that's not quite it. That doesn't seem like it would be very interesting to me, at least. I don't know about you. Okay. Let's put this one on the... No, I guess it does need to be over here. Maybe like that. Okay. Hold on. I can't... There we go. Okay. So, now we need inserters. I must say, this game is just kind of amazing to me. The depth that's built into it, and just the depth of the rabbit hole that you can go down, you know, if you so choose. It is pretty bonkers. And I will probably never do more than scratch the very tip of the iceberg, but boy, it sure is impressive to me. Okay, that's fine. And then let's grab this one. Oh, I didn't need to turn it at all. It was already fine. And let's tell it we want it to make this. Beautiful. All right, so now we have 4 of these going full blast. So I think the next step then is we want to start picking these pieces up. So actually, before I do that, I just need 4 inserters, excuse me. 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. We get our track. And I'm going in this direction because later we might want to build more, and at least in theory I could clean some space out here. Otherwise I would just have to approach this in a completely different way. Okay. Now, this part, I have to admit, I do get confused as to the best way to do it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to really make a huge effort here to figure out, like, how could I set these up so that I could easily have all of the different colors going into it. That's just a little bit beyond where I'm at right now, quite frankly. And it will just like grind everything to a halt as I try to figure that out. I think actually what I want to do is just put these right next to each other. And here, before I even do that, let's move the labs over there. And then I could have the green maybe coming in from this side. I have to look and remind myself what exactly the green even needs. Because I do remember, like, it's way more. Okay. Okay. So now, here's what we want to do. We want to go into technology and we need to research the next thing. I would like to make, that's right, the green is the logistic science pack. So let's go ahead and start researching that. And this one needs 75 of those. So finally our hard work will start paying off. And you can see it is going great guns. So that makes me feel good. We could build a couple of more, but I think for the moment that is going to serve our purpose. I have lost electricity over here, interestingly, and I did not notice that before, but that is readily fixed. And it'll keep pumping these out. Yeah, I definitely should. In fact, you know what? This is going to take long enough. I am going to add another one because I don't even know how many labs you want, but it's probably at least 10, I would think, by the time... Oh, God, did I build 3 of these? I thought I only submitted 1. Let's see what I get out of that. All right, I did just do 1. I guess it's just kind of a resource-intensive thing. Now, one shortcoming of this kind of setup is... well, there's probably many because I've done such a primitive job here. But when you're pulling anytime, not just with laboratories are slow enough that I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. But when you're pulling from one belt to feed into a number of different, things like this or assemblers, what happens is it's very easy for what you need to drop in here to overwhelm the production side. So, for example, here, these are all backed up to eternity, and I don't have to worry about all 4 of these pulling from that, it's fine. The trick is, though, like if these processes were much faster and I had 4 pulling from it, then it wouldn't be. And what would happen is the first one in the line would always get fed, but then the ones down here, they might never get anything. So it is tricky. You have to find an equilibrium point. Like here, obviously, I have way more production of these little iron gears than I have need of them. But that won't always be true for sure. Okay. Why does this look like it has stopped? Is it out? Yeah. Oh, wow. That was actually quicker than I expected. All right. Well, that's fine. What do we want to research next? Some of the stuff like turrets, you don't really need because we've turned off the enemies. Likewise, I don't really need stone walls. I don't know if any of this other stuff, it doesn't look like it. It looks like this is all related to, military applications. Logistics might be a good one. That would give us more flexible, conveyor belts. I kind of like that. So why don't, and this is a quick one too. It only needs 20. And yes, they are working. So I think what's happened is that this thing, yeah, the ground that it was sitting on ran out of iron. So how about we do this? Let's make an an electric mining drill. I want to stop using the coal ones. I just hadn't bothered to do that yet, basically. And I might as well... Oh, it won't work. Okay. I was going to try to use the same pole to feed both the inserter, you know, and the other, but I can't. Because they're too far apart. All right, so let's go ahead and grab an inserter. And you know what? I'm going to just pick this up and set it down right here. We don't really need the box. There you go. Unfortunately, we do need to power this. That's the thing I'd really like, quite honestly, is if I could start making the electric powered furnaces, that would be really nice. Now, I will tell you, we definitely need way more iron production than we have. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and fire up another one of these so we can start stockpiling the steel plates. Because I don't actually have that many. So we'll just fiddle with that a little bit here right at the end. Oh, wow, we finished that other technology. That really didn't take long, did it? And I might as well just put it there. I don't think there's a reason not to. There probably is, to be fair, and I just don't know it. Yeah, that's definitely the right spot. And then we need the inserter again. It's so funny. Some of these things, you just build so many of them. And one could argue, I guess, that it would make sense to have an assembler turning those out, but I don't think so. I feel like you only want the assemblers for things that are feeding a constant process. Like you always want your labs going. Speaking of which, let's pick another one. We could go into electronics. I like, for the moment, obviously anything that only uses green, red is great because we have not automated green. That's actually what I should do next. Let me go ahead and do that. Now, we are getting short on time for this installment. So let's start at least figuring out what we need with green. So the ingredients, we need transport belts and inserters. And I remember this. This is where it gets way more complicated. Look at the transport belt. Now I need 2 pieces just to make the transport belt. So I have to have production for iron plates and then a gear wheel feeding in to an assembler that will make these transport belts. Then I also need the inserter, and that's way more complicated. It needs an iron plate, a gear wheel, and electronic circuit. An electronic circuit uses iron plates and 3 copper cables. So you see what I'm saying here? Like, all of a sudden, this gets way more complicated. I have to start taking copper plates, breaking that down into copper cable. An assembler can do that. And then we have to join that with iron plates. But then on top of that, that just makes one component that feeds into this. Into the inserter actually first, and then the inserter into that. So it becomes quite a chain. And the thing that I have struggled with in my little short stint in here is the space management. Like when I started doing all this stuff, how do I keep losing power over here? I could swear everything was working, and then all of a sudden I look and I don't have power. Did this never have power? I sure thought it did. But anyway, I think you get what I'm saying, that yeah, it's like I think I have all the space I need, but now that just this very simple thing is working, I go, ooh, that's actually not great, is it? So where I'm going to make all this other stuff, the part that I really wrestle with is the fact that I have to get copper components ready and then merge it with the iron. And it's not like they're sitting right on top of each other. I guess I'm lucky that it doesn't need to merge with the coal. All right. Before we go, I'll just pick one more thing. I guess steel processing makes sense. We'll just kind of burn through all these. Like I could do optics too. That one's super quick. But let's go ahead and, well, actually, yeah, I might as well. That'll open up a path to, well, in theory, the space science pack. But look at how many different automation packs I have to have as a prerequisite. I mean, we'll get the green production up and running, but then we have to do blue, purple, and yellow before I would even be able to research this, I think. Yeah, and I'm going to use 2,000. See, this is what I'm saying. The kind of production that I have here is nothing. We need so many assemblers. Now, one advantage, I do know that as we keep researching stuff, I don't have one yet, but there are like faster, better assembling setups. Let me see if it's in here. No, I think it's the furnaces. There's some machines that have what they call modules, but I'm pretty certain you can get faster assemblers. So anyway, the things that I need to learn from this are just legion. Oh, I didn't pick anything. But you know what? Let's just do the quick one. Let's get this out of the way. And I think with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. I definitely need to build more laboratories, not for this part, but as we get to the more complicated stuff. But I think I definitely want to take this series through at least getting a production capacity set up for green and feeding it into a row of laboratories. I think I won't realistically be able to go much past that because, to be fair, my level of understanding of all of this and how to lay this out is so primitive at this phase, just to be brutally honest, that I wouldn't be able to incorporate a third color very easily. Maybe I could. I guess I could have a second row here, and then I could have 2 rows over here. So who knows? I suppose it's possible. Well, at any rate, we'll see. Let me pick one more, and then we are going to scoot. So steel processing, done, go. All right, that's all for now. When we come back, we will try to set up the assembly line for the green packs, but that's all for now. I think I just said that about 10 times. Thanks for watching. I hope we see you next time.